Key points that people that are getting divorced or separated need to know. My name's Christina, and I've worked with a lot of divorced people and helped them through their finances in getting a home. And what I wanted to tell people is that there is some key information that you need to know. When people first get divorced or start getting divorced, there's a bit of anxiety. I've seen a lot of people feeling overwhelmed, a lot of people not even knowing their finances or know where to go. So we have to grieve that, and it's perfectly okay, and we have to go through that and chill at the time. There is some chill. But what I want you to have is some key information that you can hold in your bag and pull out when you need to. Having that information is a real advantage to yourself. The first point I wanted to talk about is going through mediation. At any time, I strongly recommend that you go through mediation. Now, this is even when it includes properties. There's people that I know that mediate, and then you have to go to solicitor. So to clarify, when there's property involved, you need to have a solicitor to get consent orders from the court. You can still do that through mediation, and strongly recommend it. People may not know, but there's only a difference of 5 to 10% when you're going through courts. And if you're sitting there trying to scrounge that 5-10%, and it's quite an non-amicable divorce, it could take 2 years, and it's fighting. I know people that have paid solicitors $100,000, and you're talking about $10,000-$15,000. So it's really recommend that you try and make it amicable as possible. And I warn you that there are solicitors out there that really profit from taking it to court. And if your partner has that one, it's quite difficult. But if you could really focus on trying to be amicable, it's really in your benefit. The second point is asset debt. With most debtors, they will recognize who the debt has, especially if there's domestic violence involved. I'll warn you that the Australian Tax Office do not work like that currently. I know of a lady that had to sell her own house that she had before she got married to pay her partner's tax debt, who hasn't paid tax in 20 years. The government does not see tax debt as separate to a marital asset. So I just want you to be aware of that. A lot of people, and rightly so, think that it shouldn't come onto like the partner. But just be aware of it. And again, a solicitor would advise you of that. It's really sad, and hopefully things will change, but that's how it is at the moment. If you're finding this content helpful, please like and subscribe. It's free for you, but it helps us out a lot. And with that, back to the video. And the last point I wanted to talk about, and it's quite important, if you haven't finalized your assets, your financial settlement as a divorced person or a separated person, then what could actually happen is if you buy during, say, it's taking 2 years for you to get to your financial settlement, if you buy a property in that time, it's counted as the asset pool. It's not considered as yours. So you just have to be aware that it could actually be taken off you. So be careful. And I've had to talk through a lot of people. We have to plan things and work things out so the asset doesn't get taken off them. All that's done, so everything's worked out fine. You know exactly how much money you want. You want to buy a property. So the second part is purchasing the property. The pre-approval part. What I want people to understand is usually you're going to have to work. Your income has decreased by 30%. Most people are 30% worse off at least. You've got 2 households, so the expenses are going to be higher. So what do I look at? A lot of people want me to consider child support and family tax benefits. A lot of lenders consider that, but there's usually some sort of limit. A lot of them want them for 5 years or 7 years, depending. So if you want to include child support, some lenders would only consider child support up to the age of 11, some up to the age of 13. There are other lenders that will take any age, but usually it's at a higher interest rate. I really recommend that you really start thinking about getting a job, no matter what, if you haven't worked before. A lot of professional women, they would have been working. It's not so much of an issue, but a lot of people that have been, that could stay home and look after their kids, it's an issue that you do need to look at. The other part is money management. So there's a lot of couples where the guy is actually managing the funds, 70%. So for a lot of women, they need to learn money management, how to put their money away, how to save, and basically how to actually get a home, any big ticket item. Now, I've worked with women who've got through that. We've got courses and a lot of help and coaching to help women through that. And not only get that, but a lot of women need their investment properties and to be able to have their investments and move on and have their own financial security. So we help women with that. So to recap, before you're getting divorced and separated, just be aware mediation is actually far cheaper. A financial settlement can take 2 years or more, depending on how aggressive it is. The assets, anything that you buy in that time will be included as part of the asset pool and considered as part of the financial settlement. And just be aware about debts, including ATO debts. After you're separated, make sure you get on top of your finances. You'll have to probably adjust somewhat, and that would be quite typical in the most people I've seen, that they need to adjust. So money management, child support, be aware that you can't really totally rely on child support unless your kids are young when buying a property. That also includes family tax benefits. And just be aware that you don't have to be stuck. I've seen lots of women that buy investment properties or rebuy investment properties. So there's a lot of options. Okay, now at this point, it may be overwhelming for you. It's not like you do it every day. So I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. I just want you to know that just keep something at the back of your mind. Hey, I may need to speak to someone, and that's okay. That's what I do, is I take the overwhelm and just walk you through the process. So please don't feel stressed. Even when a lot of people are buying properties, I actually help them because sometimes they just need somebody to bounce off to make sure that they're going the right way, and even just giving them a bit of support. There are links in the description to be able to contact me. There's more information, more podcasts and masterclasses at your disposal to help you through this difficult stage. I'm here for you.